I had to work hard to get the balance, but I think it's a book which is balanced. I think it's fair. The reader will make up his or her mind whether she's good or bad.
Tom Bauer has exposed some of Meghan Markle's secrets, and it has got everyone talking. Meghan Markle, who has since lost most of her business deals and even royal funding, is still believed to be living a billionaire lifestyle. This has sparked intense speculation about how Meghan makes her money. But that speculation has now been laid to rest. In his book, Tom Bauer reveals everything about Meghan's income streams. And it's not what the public had thought all along. So how exactly does Meghan Markle make her money? Join us as we uncover how Meghan Markle makes her money. How Meghan Markle makes her money. According to Tom Bauer, Meghan lives a very wealthy lifestyle without having income that clearly matches it.
For Meghan's own autobiography, which I'm sure she is penning, she is a good writer.
When you compare Meghan Markle's known earnings with the cost of how she lives, the numbers do not line up. Her public income sources alone do not seem enough to pay for the level of luxury she maintains. Bauer is not saying Meghan has no money. His point is that her lifestyle appears to cost more than what her documented income should reasonably cover, unless there is other financial support that is not openly explained. But here is the most shocking part of her financial story, one that almost no one talks about. Starting with Meghan's professional earnings before Prince Harry. Her most significant acting role was as Rachel Zane on the legal drama Suits, which she joined in 2011 and exited in 2017. By Meghan's final seasons, she was reportedly earning about $50,000 per episode. With approximately 16 episodes per season, her annual income at peak sat around $800,000 gross, before taxes, agents' fees, and management commissions. It was a career-defining role, polished, professional, and widely praised for its composure. But financially, it placed her firmly in the upper-middle tier of television actors, not the elite bracket. Alongside Suits, Meghan earned modest income from brand endorsements and lifestyle writing. She launched The Tig in 2014, positioning it as a curated blog focused on travel, food, wellness, and aspirational living. While influential, The Tig was never monetized at a level comparable to major influencer platforms. There is no evidence it generated millions annually. Even combined, her acting and side ventures likely kept her under $1 million per year net. That figure matters because her lifestyle during this period already included international travel, luxury accommodations, and access to elite social spaces. For someone earning under 7 figures, such a lifestyle typically requires either debt, sponsorship, or subsidized access. According to Bauer, it was access not income that bridged the gap. This is where the Soho House years became financially relevant. Soho House was not merely social, it was operational. It placed Meghan in close proximity to financiers, heirs, and investors whose wealth was not publicly displayed but privately exercised. Bauer's reporting suggests Meghan understood early that wealth does not always move through salaries. It often comes through free invites, free travel, and support that never appears on paper. When Meghan married Prince Harry in 2018, public perception assumed a dramatic financial upgrade. In reality, her personal earning power temporarily narrowed. Royal protocol limited commercial activity. More importantly, Harry did not control royal wealth. His personal fortune, estimated between £10 and £15 million, stemmed largely from Princess Diana's inheritance, placed in trust and accessed gradually. It was substantial, but finite. The estates, palaces, jewels, and art were not assets Meghan or Harry could liquidate. They belonged to the crown. Meghan did not marry into money in the way celebrities marry billionaires. She married into an institution that restricts personal wealth accumulation. However, the story takes an unexpected turn. After stepping back from royal duties in 2020, Meghan and Harry lost access to public funding, including security. Comparable private security arrangements for high-profile individuals routinely cost $3 to $5 million annually. This is before accounting for staff, legal fees, PR retainers, travel, and property upkeep. They purchased their Montecito home in 2020 for approximately $14.65 million. Annual property taxes alone exceed $150,000, with maintenance, landscaping, and staff pushing yearly fixed housing costs far higher. These are not flexible expenses. Then came the high-profile contracts. Netflix, announced in 2020, was widely reported as a deal up to $100 million. Industry insiders, including those cited by Bauer, emphasized that this was not guaranteed cash. Payments were milestone-based and dependent on content delivery. Only a limited number of productions materialized. Spotify followed a similar structure and terminated the partnership in 2023 after one podcast season. Here is the financial inconsistency Bauer highlights. When these revenue streams slowed or collapsed, there was no visible reduction in spending, no downsizing, no retreat from elite travel, no public scaling back of security or staffing. In standard financial behavior, declining income forces adjustments. Meghan's environment showed continuity instead. Archewell, their nonprofit foundation, cannot legally fund personal lifestyle expenses. Tax filings show donations fluctuating year to year, but not at levels that explain sustained luxury living. Foundations do not pay for couture wardrobes, private jets, or multi-million-dollar homes. That explanation does not withstand scrutiny. Nor do brand deals. Meghan does not operate a consumer goods empire. She does not hold publicly known equity stakes, generating passive income at scale. Many rumored endorsements never launched. There is no evidence of a hidden commercial engine replacing lost media income. This is where Bauer's theory becomes uncomfortable, but coherent. Meghan's financial stability appears to rely on network-based support rather than contract-based income. Benefits flow indirectly. Travel arranged by others, accommodations hosted rather than billed, access replacing expenditure. This is not illegal. It is discreet. Importantly, these patterns did not start with royal life. They came before it. Meghan's royal status made her even more valuable in these circles. She became a rare connector. Hollywood fame, royal association, and activist work all combined. In these elite spaces, that mix is powerful even if it doesn't make money directly. This is why Meghan's projects often focus more on being seen than on earning money. The podcast, the documentaries, the public work, all kept her in the spotlight, even when they didn't bring in much cash. Being relevant keeps doors open. Open doors lower costs. Lower costs help maintain a lifestyle. It also explains why Meghan is careful about how she appears in public. She criticizes systems, not wealthy individuals. Her silence about certain supporters is important. In financial networks based on connections, being discreet is valuable. Tom Bauer does not say Meghan is secretly rich. He says she is supported by a structure. Her wealth is not in cash. It is in relationships. Not owned, but accessed. Not declared, but provided. That is why her lifestyle is protected from business failures. Even if a project doesn't make money, it doesn't hurt her life because the system around her was never built on just those projects. They were tools to stay relevant, not the main source of income. So when people ask, how does Meghan Markle live a billionaire-style life on a millionaire's income? The answer is not in contracts or bank accounts. It is in the connections she built early, strengthened through fame, and kept by staying relevant. That is the financial reality Tom Bauer reveals. But Bauer didn't stop at explaining her finances. In interviews, he also revealed some shocking truths about Meghan that few have discussed publicly. Let's take a closer look at what he uncovered. What Tom Bauer revealed about Meghan Markle. The well-known biographer Tom Bauer has built a career exposing the private lives of famous people, and his latest book, Revenge, is his most pointed study yet. Speaking to Piers Morgan, Bauer made clear that the work is not just a neutral look at Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. This book may hasten a downward trend at which I wouldn't be sad at all, because they pose a real threat to the royal family, he said. According to Bauer, the danger from the Sussexes is not about what they are doing now, but the influence they can still have on the public and the monarchy, even from their home in California. Bauer warns that people should not be comforted by the couple's quiet life in Montecito, or by their small role at major royal events such as the Platinum Jubilee. Even their current work producing online content for American audiences, often seen as harmless, is, in Bauer's view, a way to stay relevant and continue pushing influence. Harry's 2021 address to the United Nations, for example, was quickly criticized in the UK by commentators like Sarah Vine and Piers Morgan, still publicly frustrated by Meghan's refusal to engage with him. For Bauer, distance does not neutralize the Sussexes' influence. Central to Bauer's argument is Meghan herself. He describes her as a very scheming, very clever woman, and believes she has a strong influence over Harry. Referring to her 2021 interview with Oprah, Bauer stated, "This woman is doing something quite terrible to Britain, and Harry has fallen in love with her in a ludicrous way and has gone along as her accomplice." He contrasts this with Prince Charles's steady, long-term devotion to Camilla Parker Bowles, implying that Harry's judgment has been clouded by love. According to Bauer, the combination of romance and ambition can become a danger to the monarchy. Bauer also examines Meghan's early life and career. He discusses her acting work, relationships, and the way she built her personal brand. According to Bauer, Meghan always worked hard to get ahead, and sometimes used her charm to influence people. One example he cites is a 2010 interview with Larry King, where he claimed Meghan appeared unusually unattractive, with greasy hair, rumpled clothes, and peaky eyes. While some, such as Sam Kashner writing in The Times, described Meghan as warm, gracious, intelligent, and courageous, Bauer interprets such praise as proof of her power. That just shows the power of Meghan, but that is not all. Moving from her early career to royal life, Bauer highlights the differences between Meghan and other royals. He notes her height, saying she is shorter than Kate Middleton and often wears heels to compensate. He refers to a Wimbledon appearance where, even though Meghan looked radiant on her own, standing beside the taller Duchess of Cambridge made her appear diminished. For Bauer, small details like these matter because they suggest Meghan carefully manages her image and how others perceive her presence. Bauer's attention to appearances and style continues throughout the book. He criticizes Harry's ill-fitting suit at the Oprah interview, Thomas Markle's clothing choices, and even Omid Scobie's looks, hinting at possible surgery. Scobie is described as a propagandist because of his work as royal editor for Harper's Bazaar. Though minor in isolation, these observations are used to paint a larger picture. Meghan's influence touches everyone around her. The book also shares more sensational stories. According to Bauer, Meghan was rude on a fashion shoot, annoyed Vogue staff, and the Queen was pleased she did not attend her funeral. Meghan's complaints about British manners and language are presented as signs of cultural insensitivity and ambition. Another key claim is that Meghan is terribly envious, though no concrete evidence is provided. Even Meghan's legal victory against the Mail On is framed as partially dependent on judicial bias, rather than being purely merit-based. These examples all reinforce the image of Meghan as a woman who can manipulate people and situations. While the focus is often on Meghan, Bauer also talks about Harry's role. His loyalty to Meghan, Bauer writes, affects his public actions. Speeches, charitable work, and interviews are often influenced by her, presenting Harry as both a devoted husband and someone whose decisions are shaped by affection. Bauer situated these personal details within the wider royal context. The Sussexes' move to the United States, he writes, prompted the Queen, King Charles, and Prince William to present a united front. The royal family's reaction to Meghan and Harry leaving shows the tension between personal freedom and duty. Meghan and Harry are not just individuals. They are a couple whose choices affect the public and disrupt expected traditions. The book links small events to bigger patterns. Fashion shoots, interviews, public appearances, and charity work are all used to show that Meghan is smart and influential. Even little details like her posture or what she wears are shown as signs of careful self-presentation. According to Bauer, nothing Meghan does is by chance. Every action shapes how people see her as powerful and in control. Interviews with the book support this view. Bauer often presents the story as a warning about the couple. He sees praise for Meghan's warmth, intelligence, or courage as evidence of her influence. Her positive traits are sometimes framed as threatening because she uses them strategically. The book also places Meghan in a wider social context. Her American background, outsider status, and media skills are shown as challenges to British traditions. Even when she misses royal events, like the Queen's funeral, it is shown as a deliberate choice, showing independence. Meghan is never passive. Every action is important. Harry's change is also a major part of the story. Bauer compares his early royal duties to his current speeches, interviews, and charity work, showing how his life has been influenced by loyalty to Meghan. This shows Harry as devoted, but also vulnerable. In the end, the book shows Meghan and Harry as a couple whose choices go beyond their private lives. Their move to California, media projects, and charity work are all part of a larger strategy shaping public opinion. Meghan's career, relationships, and public image support the idea that she is clever, ambitious, and influential. Harry's loyalty strengthens this influence, making the couple powerful and sometimes controversial. However, as shocking as Tom Bauer's revelations might be, he is not the only author to have written about Meghan and Harry. Other writers have also exposed different aspects of their lives. Who are these authors? And what have they revealed about Meghan and Harry? Let's find out. What prominent authors say about Meghan Markle. Aside from Tom Bauer, Omid Scobie and Carolyn Durand are well known for writing about Meghan and Harry. Their first book, Finding Freedom, came out shortly after the couple decided to step back from royal duties. The book often shows the couple in a sympathetic light. It is based on interviews with friends and people close to them. The authors wanted to correct stories in the media that they believed were wrong, especially about Meghan joining the royal family and the pressure she faced. One of the main points is how stressful life was for Meghan. Every move she made, from public events to personal choices, was judged and criticized. Harry is shown as protective of Meghan and determined to keep his family safe from media attacks. The book explains that leaving royal duties was not just a big decision, but a way for them to take control of their lives and protect their mental health. Later, Scobie wrote Endgame, which follows up on their story. This book looks at the couple's life after stepping back, especially the tension with some members of the royal family. It explains how they tried to balance public expectations, family traditions, and personal goals. The book shows them working to create a modern image and focusing on charity work. The story is clear that their challenges were both personal and linked to the royal system. In both books, the couple is shown as trying to live their lives on their own terms while under extreme public scrutiny. But another author, Lady Colin Campbell, takes a very different approach. Her book, Meghan and Harry: The Real Story, came out in 2020, around the same time. Campbell is critical of the couple and questions their victim narrative. She suggests that Meghan and Harry carefully manage their public image to gain sympathy. Campbell also highlights how their decisions break from royal traditions, showing a conflict between personal goals and royal duty.
But Meghan comes across initially very well, which is no surprise to me, because Meghan, as I have tried to point out to her detractors in my book.
Her book gives a skeptical view, asking whether their choices are always about protection and mental health, or sometimes about staying relevant and powerful. Andrew Morton, known for his biography of Princess Diana, wrote about Meghan in Meghan, a Hollywood princess which came out before she joined the royal family. He looks closely at her childhood, career, and ambitions in Hollywood.
Meghan's more of an activist. At age 10, she was organising anti-war protests at her school. She was writing letters to corporations about faulty packaging and bringing sweets into school because it was usually sweet manufacturers.
Morton draws some comparisons between Meghan and Diana, especially in handling media attention. He points out Meghan's drive and how her early career prepared her for public life, but also made her a target when she married Harry. Morton shows Meghan as someone who knows how to handle public attention and who worked hard to reach her goals, even under pressure. Sean Smith wrote Meghan Misunderstood, which aims to correct the negative stories in newspapers. His book focuses on Meghan's charitable work before she became a royal. He highlights her work on gender equality, education, and social issues. Smith shows that Meghan had a meaningful career before the royal family, challenging ideas that she married Harry for status. His book presents her as someone dedicated to helping others and using her public profile for good causes. Tina Brown's book, The Palace Papers, is about the royal family in general, but discusses Meghan a lot. Brown does not fully support Meghan's choices and questions some of her judgment. On podcasts, she has said Meghan often seems to get it all wrong, even when trying to do the right thing. Brown shows how these mistakes affected public perception and family relations. Her book puts Meghan's story in the context of a royal family struggling with change, tradition, and modern pressures. Angela Levin wrote Harry: Conversations with the Prince, which focuses on Harry. She interviewed him directly, giving insight into the early days of his relationship with Meghan. Levin shows Harry as protective, caring, and committed. He wanted to balance royal duties with personal life, and he shared goals and values with Meghan. The book explains how Harry's upbringing and personal experiences shaped his decisions and how he worked to protect his family and their privacy. Prominent journalists have also shared many perspectives. Reporters from magazines like People, including Simon Perry and Janine Henney, often cover their charity work and life outside the royal family. These reports highlight their efforts in mental health, social justice, and equality. They also describe how media pressure affected them personally. These stories give context to the couple's actions and show that their choices are often based on values and principles. At the same time, columnists from papers like the Daily Mail and The Sun have been critical of Meghan. They focus on her public behavior, statements, and break from royal traditions. These critics show the gap between how the couple sees themselves and how the public sees them. Their coverage highlights ongoing debates about Meghan and Harry's motives and actions. Looking at all these sources together gives a clear picture. Supportive accounts like Scobie, Durand, Smith, and Morton show the personal struggles Meghan and Harry faced, including media pressure and the limits of the royal system. Meghan and Harry faced these challenges quietly, and the public often remained unaware of their personal struggles. Let's take a brief walk back to see how it all began and explore what the couple is doing today. Stay tuned. Harry and Meghan against the monarchy. Long before any public conflict with the monarchy began, the story starts with how Harry and Meghan met and how their relationship was received within the royal circle. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle met in 2016, reportedly through mutual friends. Harry was smitten, and on November 27, 2017, the couple announced their engagement, a formal step that brought Meghan into the British royal family. Their wedding followed on May 19, 2018, at St. George's Chapel in Windsor Castle. The ceremony was watched by millions around the world. On that same day, Queen Elizabeth gave Harry the titles Duke of Sussex and others, and Meghan became the Duchess of Sussex. Almost immediately after their marriage, tensions began to appear. The British tabloids focused intensely on Meghan's life, her American background, her acting career, and her family. Harry grew frustrated with what he called unfair and often racist treatment of his wife by parts of the press. He felt history repeating itself, recalling how his mother, Princess Diana, had been treated. In late 2019, Meghan sued a newspaper for publishing a private letter to her father, and Harry also started legal actions against several media outlets, claiming they had used illegal methods to get personal information about them. Tensions inside the palace also grew in 2019, with speculation about disagreements over how the couple handled public statements and media attention. By early January 2020, Harry and Meghan made a shocking announcement. They would step back from being senior members of the royal family and become financially independent. This decision, quickly nicknamed Megxit, caused a major stir in the monarchy. The announcement led to an emergency meeting at Sandringham with senior royals. Shortly after, it was agreed they would no longer serve as working royals nor use their official royal styles. After this announcement, the couple moved to California in June 2020 for privacy and safety. But the move did not end their struggles. In February 2020, a royal committee decided Harry would not receive the same taxpayer-funded security he had as a working royal. This decision was a source of conflict that would continue for years. In 2021, legal battles with the press escalated. Meghan won a privacy lawsuit in February 2021 over publication of her private letter, marking an important victory. Then, in March 2021, Harry and Meghan gave a high-profile interview with Oprah Winfrey. In it, Meghan spoke about the pressure she felt, claims of racism within the royal family, and feeling unsupported. Harry said his father, Prince Charles, was not taking his calls. These revelations caused a public uproar and created deeper strains between the couple and the royal family. Despite stepping back from royal duties, the couple's family grew. Their daughter, Princess Lilibet, was born on June 4, 2021. However, the relationship with the royal institution remained tense. In September 2022, Queen Elizabeth passed away, and King Charles became the monarch. This event would shape much of the ongoing tension. In early 2023, Harry published his memoir, Spare, sharing personal grievances about his life in the royal family. He criticized his father, brother, and other family members, which widened the public rift. Around the same time, Harry attended King Charles's coronation on May 6, 2023, but Meghan and their children stayed in California. Later, in June 2023, Harry testified in court against a tabloid publisher over press intrusion, becoming the first British royal to testify publicly in such a case. It still didn't end here. Legal battles continued through 2023 and 2024. Harry won a case against the Mirror newspapers, earning legal costs and damages after the court found illegal practices were used against him over many years. However, His challenge regarding the downgrade of his security was dismissed, then partially allowed on appeal, keeping public attention on the family conflict. When King Charles announced his cancer treatment in February 2024, Harry flew to the UK briefly to see him. Yet, security disputes continued, preventing the family from visiting safely. By January 2025, another newspaper apologized and settled a lawsuit with Harry over intrusive reporting, showing ongoing struggles with the media and the royals. The couple also missed several ceremonial events, including the King's birthday parade and other traditional gatherings. Harry said his father was not speaking to him, and disagreements over protocol and security were central to the conflict. By mid-2025, Harry publicly expressed a desire for reconciliation, hoping future security arrangements would allow the family to visit the UK. Behind the scenes, reports suggested private meetings and gestures toward peace, though full reconciliation had not yet happened. Today, Harry and Meghan live in Montecito, California, with their 2 children, Archie and Lilibet. They share occasional glimpses of family life on social media, showing moments of dancing, playing with their children, and enjoying simple family routines, a stark contrast to the formal royal life they left behind. Professionally, they have built successful ventures outside the royal family. Meghan founded a lifestyle brand called As Ever, which has been popular and sold out quickly. They also signed media deals, including projects with Netflix through Archewell Productions, producing documentaries, series, and other content. Meghan's show With Love, Meghan is part of these efforts. Harry and Meghan continue to face legal and media challenges. Harry has testified against tabloid publishers for intrusive reporting, highlighting how their privacy is still under threat. At the same time, there are signs of cautious outreach from the royal family. King Charles has reportedly offered the couple access to his country estate if they visit the UK, seen as a small gesture toward reconciliation. Speculation continues that the couple may attend future royal events, like the 2027 Invictus Games, which could bring family members together again. Even with the distance and disputes, Harry and Meghan have created a life where they can focus on family, business, and advocacy work. They are building careers that reflect their own values while maintaining a delicate balance with their past and the ongoing relationship with the royal family. Do you think Tom Bower's revelation about how Meghan Markle makes her money is true? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also, click on the next video on your screen. You won't want to miss it.